Welcome, everybody, to the Connect Show. Today, we continue our conversation about building a foundation for your business. Actually, today is our last day for starting your own business information. So, and then next month, we move into mindset coaches all over again. It'll be almost this is our 50th episode. We only have 2 more episodes to go, and then it'll be 52 episodes with the
Woo!
1 whole year. We got a crowd today.
Pretty exciting. And we are all back in studio today, so that's pretty cool. And Kim is our co-host again today, which is awesome.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Today we have a great lineup with Gifford Collins and Deanne Robinson with Collins Law Firm. They're going to talk about business owners' legalities upon startup. And then next we have Jim Temmer from the Better Business Bureau of Wisconsin. That's exciting.
Pretty exciting show today.
Yes.
The Connect Show is brought to you by Connect Media Live. Connect Media Live is it's a brand that supports small businesses in all of their event marketing, creating content, doing video, website, digital, you name it, everything you need to get your business seen. Connect Media Live does that for you. And we are getting pretty excited for our October, I keep forgetting the date, October 18th. Yeah, thanks, John. October 18th for the Fusion event. Where we're going to have a big business shower. And so far, we're giving away $11,699 as a resource.
Can we say again? $699.
And we still have time. We're still taking in donations. So
you don't even have to spin a wheel to win.
Right. So to enter that, by the way, you should go to the website, and there is a page on there that says business shower. So there's 2 entry forms, one to donate and one to win. So do both.
Win and give. What's better than that? Today, we also want to thank our sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we are broadcasting from live today. We broadcast the Connect Show, and Expansive is a wonderful place to work, great community to be a part of. We had some fun picnics, and the water's great. Smoked meat.
Yep.
Coffee is delicious.
We've had 2 picnic here's in conjunction with the Connect Show and Expansive, and those have been both fabulous. Looking forward to the next one. Maybe not this year. Maybe yet.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I think we should bring something for the holidays. Just saying.
And as always, we're happy that you come to watch the Connect Show. And if you think a topic that we should be discussing, please email us at theideas@theconnectshow.com. And Mitch, tell us about who we have on the show today.
Well, good morning, Tracy and Kim, and John behind the scenes. Doing an awesome job, as always. Firstly, I want to apologize for my technical difficulties last week. For 2 years, once we got sent working from home, we've had no internet issues. And my kids got home from overnight camp 2 weeks ago. And since then, I think they've connected 47 different devices to our Wi-Fi network. And I think they are bringing it down. So kids, off the devices. All right. I just had to go on a little rant there. Yeah, that's right. Get back to school. Thursday can't come soon enough. Real excited about our guests. You guys talked about them briefly. Gifford Collins is here, owner of Collins Law Firm. And excited to hear him talk about expecting the unexpected when it comes to estate planning, when it comes to business succession, and when it comes to how to work on building your startup, building your solopreneur, LLC, whatever it might be. Excited to hear him about planning what you can and staying flexible with what maybe you didn't foresee. Collins also, some fun facts about Collins. He had an around the world ticket back in 2002. He spent quite a bit of time traveling. He ate all sorts of foods, exotic foods, but he drew the line at crickets. He would not eat the crickets. Although now they serve crickets, I think, at Seattle Mariners baseball games. So I think crickets are mainstream now. So he might mix that up. Also, a native of Hannibal, Missouri, which is Mark Twain's birthplace. And they sell Mississippi mud there. I didn't realize that, but you can get your real Mississippi mud right there in Hannibal, Missouri. So excited to hear from Gifford. And along with Gifford, Deanne Robinson is here, and she also works with Gifford at Collins Law Firm. She has hiked Machu Picchu. She has kayaked Titicaca. And she is here, and she's an expert when it comes to estate planning and trust administration. So they're really going to give you the lowdown on everything you need to know to build a business, and then what correct financial buckets to be in, and all the stuff when I started my LLC I had no idea about. So I'm going to listen intently and learn so much from them. Really excited that they're here. Jim Temmer is also here today. He is the executive director and president and CEO of our Better Business Bureau here of Wisconsin. But not only that, he is the chairman of the board of the International Association of the Better Business Bureau. That's right. The chair of the board of the International Better Business Bureau is our local president right here in Wisconsin. And for those of you who are watching not from Wisconsin, too bad for you. So no, I'm just kidding. It's still awesome. He's still a great resource about how to act ethically, how to act with integrity when it comes to building and growing your business and all the things to do in the business world. He is a Badger. So we have that in common. And he spent time at Penn State and also, but we won't mention that. And a Marquette. That's okay too, though. He's an American history buff as well. A lot of his study revolved around American history. And his focus was the contact of different cultures. So as we are in this world of numerous different cultures coming into contact and figuring out how to respect others and be there for others and see others, Jim is a great resource for that as well. So Jim Temmer's here from the Better Business Bureau. Gifford Collins and Deanne Robeson are here from Collins Law Firm. Can't wait to hear their expertise and what they can share with all of us. Back to you, Kim and Tracy.
Thank you, Mitch. That was awesome. I just love Mitch's energy.
Mitch's hype is fabulous.
Yes. Awesome.
Way to go, Mitch.
And just a reminder, the Connect Show is broadcast on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, where we can see your comments. So if you're watching us live on any of those social media platforms, please leave us some comments in there, and we will address them as we're doing the show.
Absolutely. The Connect Show is a volunteer show. So every single one of us that come on this show and work behind the scenes or straight up in front of the scenes is a volunteer. So if you would like to become a part of our volunteer team, we meet twice a month virtually, so you don't have to be in person. We would love to have you join our volunteer team and help spread the love to small businesses around the country. Email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com.
So to get the conversation started, Miss Kim, did you research any companies on the Better Business Bureau, or have you looked into becoming accredited with them in your journey of your business?
I do research companies on the Better Business Bureau. I mean, I feel like if they're accredited with the Better Business Bureau, you've heard of it, you know of it, okay, they must be real potatoes, right? Mm-hmm. I definitely research reviews on the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, I do also.
I definitely do that. I am such a newer venture in my small business. I haven't looked into becoming accredited with them. I don't know a lot about it for someone that's a solopreneur. So I'm looking forward to learning more about it. I really don't know, but I definitely utilize Better Business Bureau.
I haven't used it for my business at all, but many of my clients are accredited, including my son with his flooring business. So that's pretty
fabulous.
Cool. But there's definitely value in that. And when I do research other companies, if I'm going to use them as a service, definitely I'm reviewing their Better Business Bureau comments, just like you just said.
And I utilize that content too for my clients. I've had clients throughout the country, and that content just kind of shows accreditation throughout all the way through, I guess. So I will utilize that content in their social media, like, hey, look at, this is what so-and-so had to say on bbb.com or whatever the actual website is. But yeah, definitely use that. So how about you? Have you looked into any of that for Small Business Milwaukee? Or?
I have not. I think it's because I'm just so much more focused on Google reviews and Facebook reviews.
Yeah.
But I think after today, I might reconsider looking into it a little bit more.
I think that's a great conversation to have today.
How about anybody else in the audience? Has anybody put anything in the chat? No. Okay. So we're going to move on then. Would you want to do our quote for today?
I will.
I know, because you love this quote.
I do. Without a plan, even the most brilliant business can get lost. You need to have goals, create milestones, and have a strategy in place to set yourself up for success. One of my favorite parts of the quote is who it's from, Yogi Berra.
Who is Yogi Berra?
Don't know.
Who is Yogi Berra? Don't know. What is going on?
Okay,
Give me the
so
camera.
enlighten
Give me
us.
the
Who is
camera.
Yogi Berra? Okay, Mitch, tell us who Yogi Berra
Yogi
is.
Berra, one of the all-time greatest catchers in Major League Baseball history, spent his entire career with the New York Yankees, was a manager as well, but was very highly respected and has many yogiisms, was known for his yogiism. So I'm not surprised you found a quote by him, because he's got like a book of quotes of like.
Loved that quote. I was like, it
great.
just fit for today, for our last episode of Getting Started. It really just fit. I love it.
Maybe
How do they not know that?
Maybe we should have looked that up so we
How do they
look
not
so knowledgeable.
We wanted Mitch to have some camera time.
I was thinking,
fine.
like, did they misspell it and it's supposed to be Yogi Bear? I mean, because I don't get this. So with that, we're moving on.
Let's double check the chat one more time, because there is a slight delay. No, we're good. We're good. Oh, Bill Sargent is accredited, newly accredited with the Better Business Bureau. Bill Sargent was on the show a few weeks ago. It was a great time. So look at Bill Sargent with Milwaukee Headshots. Me. Look at that.
Awesome. So before we move on to our first guest today, we are moving on to Rajiv for a reputation minute.
What do you have for us today, Rajiv?
And we'll just, so how's it going today? I guess we're not doing Rajiv yet. Ooh, so we're going to do some makeup.
We have...
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So I know that wasn't Rajiv a minute ago, and that was the Golden Nest, and that was like some great looking food. And that is right around the corner from here, and we've been there, and they have little robots that deliver your food, and everybody should go and try that. Anyways, I just had to mention that because people might have been confused by no Rajiv there.
I had a chicken wrap from there that was
it was very
fabulous. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Gifford Collins is uniquely qualified to help you through the estate planning process. Both of his parents came from large families, and they worked hard to create assets for their own children. He benefited from their work ethic and understands how people trade their time to earn money and live and provide a better life for their loved ones. Giff, can we call you Giff?
Giff, yeah.
Giff graduated with a degree in business administration, and while his undergrad, he studied French and traveled around the globe. He developed an appreciation for the world's beauty and culture.
It's his mission to help small business owners preserve what they've built so they and their families can enjoy the fruits of their hard work. Giff has been practicing law for 13 years in estate and business planning. In 2015, he started Collins Law Firm, LLC, and focused almost exclusively on estate planning and business law. His wife and he have 3 small children. As a business owner, he sees firsthand how easy it is to get busy in the day-to-day and neglect the bigger picture. No matter what your stage in life, if you are thinking of estate planning or business plan. Welcome, Gifford.
Thanks. Thank you.
So we want to ask you guys about
Sure.
the question of the day too, about the Better Business Bureau. Are you guys with the Better Business Bureau? What is your experience with it? What have you guys done with the Better Business Bureau?
Mostly, I do. I search companies on the Better Business Bureau, especially vendors for our business, just to see, of course, their rating, but also to see if there's, any complaints or that sort of thing. And it has been one of those things that I've known about for the majority of my life. As soon as I was in anything professionally related, the Better Business Bureau was always there as kind of a guiding light, I'd say. So it's a mix. Nowadays there is Google and the Better Business Bureau and other rating services. So we use them all. But yeah, Better Business Bureau has been a staple.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I think it's a wealth of information. You can look up the businesses, you can see what's going on with it. You always want to engage with businesses that have great reputations. So it's one of the interesting research tools that you can utilize.
And I think it's one of the first things that when people are getting into their business, it seems like everybody knows about the Better Business Bureau.
Absolutely.
It just happens that way, where you might not know about some other programs. So how can small business owners preserve the value of their business for their family?
Yeah, and we're talking about startups, right? So the great thing about thinking about the end in mind, and that's a bit of a cliche, but one of the things that we do is exit planning. So you want to make sure that your business is in a state where it's transferable to someone else. Whether a great deal comes along or maybe there's something that's happened in your personal life where you want to make a move. By doing those things that makes your business attractive to a buyer, all of those things are great for your existing business. Making sure that your clients are diversified. Do you have one huge client that's giving you all your business, or do you have 50? Where if one goes away, it's not going to make a huge difference on your business. Policies and procedures. Small business owners, you hear this all the time, working in the business versus working on the business. So, they put their heads down, they work for a long time, and they are great at getting everything done in the business. But what happens if they become disabled or, God forbid, they pass away? All the value in their small business is gone because the value of the business is in their head. So by getting that out with policies and procedures is a great way for business owners to preserve the value. And if they're anything like myself, the reason they do it is they want something different and they want to be able to transfer that value to their family. And if they don't do those things, then all of a sudden the years that they put into making this business and the equity or the house that they've been building can go away. And that's unfortunate. So that's why we do what we do, to make sure that those business owners can preserve that value. So for startups, thinking about the end in mind, making sure that they're doing those things, it will really help with their business.
I think that's a really interesting point too, because there are a lot of businesses, and I see this where it's been in family for generations, and maybe someone else maybe started it, but when you take it over, do you know the end plan? What if your children don't want anything to do with that business afterwards? What happens to it?
Yeah.
And so that end plan is really kind of key from what you said to me.
Yeah. And, usually if you're in the exit planning area, you want your clients to think about this 5 to 3 years before they're ready to go. Right. Because what you'll see is sometimes people are like, you know what, I'm ready to go tomorrow. And then you don't have the time to plan for those sort of things. So yeah, we do see that.
So along with that planning, can somebody, if let's say they want to sell their business, is this kind of like in the lines of this, or are you just focusing on passing down the business?
So it's kind of a 3-step process, because usually if somebody is thinking about selling their business, they'll say, okay, what do we have right now? Right. Let's say, if you're fortunate, you got $500,000 in savings, but you know that you need another $1 million to retire. So it's usually they're speaking with a financial advisor. They say, you need this amount of money to live the lifestyle you want after you retire. You have this amount, so you need this amount. Can we get that extra money out of your business? And sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no. If it's no, then usually business owners will hire a business coach to get them from like a C-rated business to an A-rated business, right? Which is with the Better Business Bureau. Something that's attractive to a buyer. So they make up that gap by using the equity in the business. And then after that's done, you interview your family members. I mean, maybe they've actually been working in the business for 5 years or more. And, the owners, the parents just assume that the kids are going to take it over. But if you were to ask them, you want to continue in the business, or would you prefer to just have a chunk of money to do what you want to do? You're not sure exactly what response you're going to get. So if you're able to determine if the kids want to take it or not, then you can look at the other avenues. Like, is there a strategic partner, like somebody who's doing the same thing you're doing, who might just want to add to their business? Do the employees want to buy it? Do the managers want to buy it? So those are the sort of things that we look at. Yeah, it's kind of a 3-step process. What do you have? What do you need? And how do we get it?
So when you have between you and Dan, do you guys split duties, or do you each specialize? Because we didn't get a huge bio on Dan, so we want to find out. Do you guys specialize in one area or another? I know this is a little bit off of what our general questioning was, but obviously there's a person for everyone, right?
Yeah. So there's I'll let Deanne help me out here. There's a personal side and a business side, right? So, every business owner is also a person in most cases. So they're going to have their personal assets that they're going to have to pass on, but there's business as well. And so, the interplay between what's going on with the business and on their personal side is where we work together. And, in the estate planning and business planning side, there's pre-death planning and then there's post-death planning.
Yeah, I mean, it's working with Gifford and getting the business documents all prepared and getting the business up and running and going, and then doing the estate plan for the parties and incorporating the business into that plan is just kind of exciting to make sure that the people are really having that total experience of making sure everything's protected and that their legacy goals will be completely fulfilled through the estate plan and business model.
Oh, so it sounds like what you're saying is that you're thinking about your business exit plan, and all of a sudden the estate plans and everything else enter into the picture, and now we need both of you.
Yeah, because if something happens, the documents that we draft, there are normal triggers that we'll see: death, disability, divorce, bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. Those are all things that usually pop up. But then the documents that we draft bring in some flexibility where we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So when those things pop up, there's flexibility in the documents that allow us to resolve those issues, because conflict generally costs time and money, and we want to avoid that.
For sure. Back to business. When a business owner is starting out, they usually want to limit their liability losses to that business. So what are some of the ways they can do that?
So one of the things they can do is create a limited liability company or some other business entity. And again, that's just a mechanism you can use to put a bright line between what's personal assets and what's business assets. And in the best case scenario, if there's an issue on the business side, then it's limited to the assets that are in the business and not the personal assets that the business owner has. Right. The other thing is, and you see it every once in a while, but for example, on a commercial lease, usually if it's a new business, that owner will be negotiating the lease and there's a personal guarantee. So if the business goes under, then the owner will have to be on the hook for the cost of the lease. But you can negotiate how long that person is going to have to guarantee the lease, and similar things with business loans. And then the other thing is just make sure you have enough insurance, because if you have insurance, not only is there money to pay someone who's a creditor, but the insurance company often has a duty to defend, so they're going to hire the attorney who's actually going to represent you.
Interesting. We have a how early or how soon should you have succession in place?
It's really a personal question. Everybody thinks business succession and estate planning is kind of a check the box sort of thing. But it's very subjective. If it keeps you up at night, then get it done, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If your risk tolerance is higher, then maybe don't do it. But just understand that in most cases, you should have at least something in place. Because no matter what stage the business is in, there's something that can happen. So the more that you lay out how to resolve those issues ahead of time, the the safer and more protection, your business and your personal assets will have.
Nice. Nice. That was a question from our audience, by the way, just in case anybody was wondering. It just kind of popped
It
up.
was a little hard to read from there. I was having the same focus issue, so don't feel bad.
So generally, when a few people decide to start a business, everyone is excited and ready to go chase their fortunes together.
That's right.
When things don't go exactly to plan, situations can get tricky to deal with. What are some of the businesses with multiple owners can do for those future issues? And I'd like to see what Deanne has to say about that first.
She is like,
well, I mean, there's a lot of different things that you have to really have everything in place. I mean, you're starting out, you're getting your ducks in a row, and you're making sure things are really going well. The agreements between multiple business owners is so very important, because you have to have that exit. What's going to happen if somebody passes away? Who does the business actually go to? Is it the remaining partner, or does it go to family members? These are the things that we look at and try and make sure that the business is set up the way everybody wants it, and how it's going to, again, really affect your legacy goals.
Yeah, that multiple owner thing, that really puts a spin on things.
It's a bit like a marriage,
Yeah.
Because like I said before, those triggers, those are the things that we really flesh out. Like, what happens if somebody passes or becomes disabled? Or we are in a community property state, so spouses have an interest in a business as well.
And what if the spouses die?
Or
Like, it just goes on and on.
Yeah. So so that's a buy-sell agreement, right? And then so a buy-sell agreement could restrict who the shares can go to, right? So if the owners decide that they don't want spouses to be owners of the business if something were to happen to them, then we figure out a way for the estate to pay those other partners for their value or interest in the business. They want to make sure that there's a vote on who the business can be transferred to, because let's say there's 4 business owners. One of them wants out, and they can, if there's no restrictions on the way that they can sell their units or their share in the company, they just sell it to somebody, and then all of a sudden you're stuck with a partner that you don't want or you don't know, and that other partner's gone. So those are all the interesting things that we can do in business planning, and it's just like I said. I mean, there are some things that we know we can plan for, and then we build in flexibility for those things that we don't. So, because like the question says, I mean, everybody plays really well when things are starting out. Everybody's happy.
Oh, yeah. Everything's great, and all of a sudden tension builds and situations
pops up.
happen.
Yep. And then it gets trickier. And you can build things in there like arbitration and mediation too, to keep it out of the courts and that sort of thing.
Awesome.
I could just really see how the two of you tag team so well together between your business and your personal. Just because, I mean, I've networked with Deanne for a few years now, but life happens, right? And it's scary, and you don't want to think about it, and you don't want to have to make those plans, but those plans are really important because they affect everyone around you.
Yeah, and I really never even put it together in my mind that the exit plan for your business would you'd make you think about all those other things also. Like, I just wouldn't have thought about that. So thank you so much for you guys for joining us today. Do you have anything you want to offer our guests today? Do you have like any events coming up, or do you have any consultation types of things that you want to offer?
Yeah, so we, initial consultations, if people are curious about, what sort of business planning they need done, we have a 50-point business checklist we can run through to see if what they have is enough, or, kind of fill in gaps. Same thing on the estate planning side. We could do a free initial consultation, and pretty much everybody over 18 needs some sort of plan. So,
yeah.
That's something you always want to think about, but you have kids built in, you have families, and we've unfortunately dealt with that, not having anything put together, and you have to deal with that. So awesome for the
Remember,
consultation.
right now, college kids are going back to school. They need those documents because they're adults, and the parents don't have legal control over them.
I think it was you that said the power of attorney should be done when they're 18 also, because once they're 18, as the parent, you don't have that power anymore.
Correct.
And they need to actually assign the power now. And if it's not done, then there's nobody doing it.
It's so very important to make sure that it's not only your estate plan as parents, but also the children that are adults should have some sort of documents to allow somebody to make sure that their financial and their health issues are potentially taken care of if necessary.
You guys have my wheels spinning.
Yes.
Thank you.
I know. I was just going through my head going, do my kids have this?
Right.
In a parting comment. So there are all these bad things that can happen, right? But really the perspective we bring to it is we're building something,
Yes.
right? People are trading their time for money or, so they can do some fun things.
Right.
And the way that we look at it is by doing these things, you're actually protect, because it's a lot easier to lose money than it is to make money sometimes, right? Or a lot of times. So by protecting what you trade your time for, it can help yourselves or your loved ones have a better experience.
Absolutely.
Bring a sense of comfort
Right.
to
So we're building something.
to something that
Yeah.
could be really not comfortable if it's not taken care of.
Right.
So thank you, Giff and Deanne, so much for joining us. Again,
Our
wheels
pleasure.
are
Thanks for having
spinning.
us.
There is a link on our website.
It's under Gifford.
It's under Gifford.
Yep.
So
John's going to put
John's
it in the
gonna
chat.
slap that on the
Great.
chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Rajiv. We've got that ready to go. So we are excited for our Rajiv moment. What do you have for us?
Thanks, John and Tracy. Here's your Reputation Minute. Today, we'll be talking about talking and listening. Now, it's very interesting that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. There is perhaps more of a reason why that is. Perhaps it has something to do with we maybe need to listen more than speak because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Perhaps we need to do a little bit more listening than speaking. Here's how listening can often be a better strategy. When you listen and when you actively listen, you're able to pick up on many things that people share. You'll be able to pick up their tone. You'll be able to pick up their body language. You'll be able to pick up their either level of excitement, level of enthusiasm, level of hesitation, level of sincerity, or lack of it. And by employing active listening, you'll then be able to use all this information when in fact it is your time to speak. Thus, by listening, you've actually collected a lot of very valuable information which will serve you later on in the next conversation or when you speak next to that person if you've been listening this time. Also, when you listen more and speak less, it usually has a very favorable impression in the other person's mind because they feel that you're valuing their time and more importantly, you're taking the effort to listen to them and to put them before yourself. This kind of quality is something that really warms people up towards you, opens them up a little bit, and will most likely result in their willingness to have future conversations with you. This is something that will truly benefit your reputation, especially if you're known as a listener, a good listener, as opposed to just a talker. Well, that was your Reputation Minute for today. Back to you, John and Tracy.
Well, that was great. That was some wonderful tips from Rajiv. And I just wanted to bring up again the Fusion event, October 18th.
Yes, ma'am. You got it.
And we're going to have a big shower that day with $11,699 worth of resources for one lucky small business owner. So please make sure that you're entering in to win. And we want to bring in our next guest for today. Welcome, Jim, to the show.
Hello. Since 2016, Jim Temmer has served as the president CEO of the Better Business Bureau, serving Wisconsin. In 2020, Jim was elected chairman of the International Association of Better Business Bureaus Board of Directors. I cannot say that as cool as Mitch did. He is committed to promoting integrity and increasing trust in the marketplace. Temmer previously served as the executive director of the Milwaukee Bar Association and the MBA Foundation. Prior to that, Temmer spent 10 years leading museums and cultural organizations around Wisconsin.
For his efforts at the Wisconsin Historical Society, the American Association of Museums honored him with their 2001 Nancy Hanks Memorial Award for Professional Excellence. Great job. Temmer has degrees from University of Wisconsin, Madison, and Marquette University. He lives in West Bend with his wife, Janet, and their 2 dogs, 6 chickens, and wait for this, you guys, 80,000 bees. Okay, first we got to know about the bees.
Bees are awesome.
Are you going in there with the bee suits and all that stuff?
That's too high.
It's too high.
And when they're out this time of year, when they're at their peak. But other than that, they decline in the winter. They're really amazing little animals. And we're talking about trust and ethics and integrity. And I have to tell you, we no longer have 6 chickens.
Oh.
Well, unfortunately, we're down to 5. But circle of life,
Mm-hmm. Sorry, little chicken. You would have to have the best honey. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you can have honey.
Are you
at
selling the
home,
honey?
right?
No, well, we just have the 2 hives, but in the first year or so, they don't produce too much, but it's really amazing. You can sit right next to the hive. They don't bother you. They come in and out. I think that wasps and hornets give bees a bad name.
They do.
I mean, a bee is not going to attack you but that's why you wear the whole suit. You're taking their house apart. You smoke it, you're checking them out. You want to treat them if there's any kind of problems in there. And then when you collect that honey, it's really, really amazing.
I'd be mad too if you ripped the shingles out of my house.
Yeah. And you'd have to be wearing a suit so you wouldn't get that.
Right.
The honey conversation reminds me of a TikTok I just saw last night. I can't help it. I love TikTok. But it was this honey bomb thing where they use like turmeric and cinnamon and all these things and they mix it with honey. It's supposed to be really, really good for your health because honey itself is supposed to be very, very good for you.
And local honey, because it gets the pollen and the local things that you could be exposed to. And when you eat it, it can build up your antibodies. Honey never goes bad.
He knows
if
what
you
he's
had honey
talking
from
about.
2,000 years ago, it might be crystallized, but if you just heat it up, it's fine.
So it never gets moldy or
No,
nothing.
moldy. You can even use it like if you have a small cut.
I've never used it on a cut.
Me neither.
Well,
I've
me
heard
neither,
of aloe,
but
but you can.
I'm going to try it. So wait, the question of the day is kind of hard to ask you because, I mean, you're Mr. Better Business Bureau. I mean, do you research people too before you do business with them?
Before I had this job,
Yeah.
I mean, again, like you said earlier, we all are familiar with the Better Business Bureau.
Yes.
And I was as well. And I knew that you could go there and find information about businesses. But there's so much more than just complaints that we do. Yes, we handle complaints. People use us as the hammer. You're on the phone with some company, you better do it, or I'm going to call the Better Business Bureau. We get all sorts of complaints. But our reviews, there's Yelp reviews and Google reviews. Our reviews actually are vetted.
Yeah.
So we make sure that there's a business contact there. And there's so many fake reviews out there. Actually, you can buy reviews. There's people sitting in other parts of the world writing fake reviews all the time. We have ways of finding out through IP addresses and other things if all sorts of reviews are coming in, and we block those. It's not 100%, but most of our reviews are vetted and are real.
You make sure to have the integrity behind
Yes,
that
in this
review.
day and age, again, it's not fake news. You come to the BBB, it's the real thing.
That's awesome. Because that is a challenge with Google and Facebook reviews. Is there's a lot of them that are you just don't know if they're true or not, or even on Amazon. Really, on Amazon,
or real reviews not getting posted. That has happened to me multiple times on Google, where I have had great reviews. Oh, did you see the review I left for you? No.
Yeah,
Google didn't like it. So anyway, hopefully that would never happen with BBB. So what are some of the benefits of accreditation for small businesses?
Well, at the Wisconsin BBB, we have a lot of large businesses, your We Energies and Baird Financial and Harley Davidson and Kohl's. But over 80% of our membership are small businesses, less than 10 employees, most of which probably are maybe 2 or 3 employees. And the benefits for it, if you're selling anything today, any product, any service, what people really buy is trust. They want to trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. They want to trust that the product they buy from you, you're going to stand behind it. And actually, my memory isn't that great. I brought a list. These are the 8 standards of trust that when you agree to be an accredited business with the Better Business Bureau, this is what you say you're going to do. You're going to build trust. You're going to advertise honestly. You're going to tell the truth. You're going to be transparent. You're going to honor your promises, be responsive, safeguard privacy, and embody integrity. I want to do business with someone that says they're going to do those things, right?
That's
Right,
someone I
right.
want to work with.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the largest benefit to accreditation is that seal, that accredited business seal, where we vet you. You know, you have been vetted. And it doesn't matter, you know, who you are. If you don't pass our stringent requirements, you will not be accredited. Or if you are accredited and you don't respond to complaints or you do something, you can be revoked. And every board meeting we have, unfortunately, we revoke a couple of members. We help people with their online reputation building. People will say to me, oh, well, you can't post that comment from that person. Well, yeah, you can. But the good part is you can respond to it. And you don't want to just go and yell at that person or say nasty things about them. You go on respectfully and you answer what they're trying to say to you. The old saying is that, you know, a lot of business people work their business during the day and they work on their business at night, as you all know, right? That's the way of life for small business people. And we do try and make it easier. We try and offer webinars and seminars on HR problems, on tax issues, on, you know, all sorts of things, accounting, marketing, that small businesses, they don't have the expertise in. They don't have a marketing department. They don't have an HR department. And hiring, we find, especially young people today, they want to work for an ethical business. They want to work for a business that gives back to their community. Well, how better to show that than if you are a BBB accredited business? So we're finding that people have more success hiring than other non-BBB businesses do.
It's really good.
Yeah, I have kind of a random question.
I have a random question too.
Go ahead.
So you know how you vet the reviews to make sure, you know, that they're good and they're reliable, they're real. Do you do the same with people that bring in the complaints? I'm going to the Better Business Bureau, like you said. Do you vet to make sure that that's real and not a broken relationship and someone's making a bad review just to be spiteful?
Well, we are a nonprofit third party between consumers and sellers. What we do with complaints is we take them in and we pass them along to the business owner or their representative and make sure that they are answered. There has to be a response back. As like I said, for an accredited business, if you do not respond to a complaint, you can be revoked. And if you don't respond to complaints, it affects your grade that you have with the BBB. So, and there's a complex algorithm into our grades. If you're an international corporation and you have 1,000 complaints, but you do $15 billion worth of business, that's not too bad. If you're a real small place and you have 10 complaints, it could be really bad. So what we do is, again, we don't judge complaints. Sometimes it's, I bought this TV, it was a 2-year warranty, it's 10 years later and I want it replaced. Let's face it, the consumer is not always right. But they still deserve a response. And a lot of times businesses just leave people hanging and they don't respond to them. And we do offer mediation back and forth several times. But businesses, if they don't respond to a legitimate complaint, and that's why we put them online too. So you can see if it's, you know, an illegitimate complaint that, well, they shouldn't have got what they wanted anyway. So you can read that. We actually are a real early crowdsourcing tool. People give us information on our scams too. We have hundreds of thousands of scams reported across North America. You can go to something called our scam tracker, scroll down to a zip code anywhere in the country and see what scams are being reported right there. So we all help each other out not to get scammed or with good business information because we get it from the public. It's really because the public uses us on the front end that we can afford to offer all the information that we can. So people contacting us, it just makes all of us stronger.
So I have a quick question to piggyback off of that. So when they're getting a negative review, do you counsel them on how they should respond to that review at all? Or because with us doing social media, and we work with a lot of reviews on our clients' work and on our clients' stuff, and we typically like to take the review off of the platform, like email us off of here, not argue back with them, try to be empathetic and understanding. And so I'm just curious if you offer any kind of counseling or support
we have
for that.
actual people that handle our complaints,
Oh.
and they can talk to you. I
Nice.
will not say that we tell people what to say in their response.
Okay.
We will post their response.
Okay.
So we have other things. Again, we've done webinars on social activity and on managing your online reputation, where we give out that kind of advice. But again, we don't want to take one side or the other. For us, it's about communications, and it's about getting the truth out there.
Everyone's got that open door.
Right.
That's
Right.
I like that. It's totally visible no matter what. Nothing's hidden. It's right out there for everyone to see. I like that.
And other business activities that we offer, we have a get a quote program where if you're a consumer, you just click on a link on somebody's business profile, and we'll automatically send out a text or email to that company, and they can respond that they'll give you a quote. So it's a lead generation service.
That's cool.
But to be blunt, being a member of the BBB is good only as much as you're going to use it.
Right.
If you don't use the accredited business seal, you don't take advantage of all of our services, you're going to be like, I didn't get much out of it. Well, like anything, if you do use, and we just did a survey last year, 98% of Wisconsinites know what our logo is. And over 80% say they're more likely to do business with someone displaying that logo than someone who is not. So it's out there. But if you don't use it, no one's going to know that you're a member, or you have a business profile page on the bbb.org website. And you can put videos on it. You can put images on it. You can really help sell your own business.
And I know that we had some people in the chat that had said that they were a part of it, and I'm sure that they're displaying those logos. I know Debbie with SASI, she had commented after. Bill with Milwaukee Headshots, he's brand new with them, super excited to be a part of it, and he is definitely using that to his marketing advantage, saying, hey, I'm a part of this.
Yeah, that's like with my son who just started his flooring business, and he's only 21. I think he started it when he was 20. And the first thing he did was go to the Better Business Bureau. So he knew at the age of 20 that how important it was.
Well, and we have a lot of contractors, because if you're a flooring person or a roofer or an electrician, you're coming into somebody's house. You need to know you can trust that person. Right?
Yeah.
So those really are the bread and butter of the Better Business Bureau. But professional services, retailers, all sorts of things, again, because you want to deal with people you trust. And then even as a B2B connection, if you're an ethical business, you want to deal with other ethical businesses. So we have events and things like that. But a lot of times businesses will connect to each other through the Better Business Bureau.
Nice. So what is the BBB Annual Torch Awards for Ethics and the Spark Awards, and how and when can a business apply? I've never heard of these things.
Oh, they're so awesome. Now you will. Our mission, we fulfill our mission in various ways, which is to increase trust in the marketplace. We highlight good businesses with accreditation. We tell you which businesses to look out for. And then our Torch Awards and the Spark Awards are ways to really highlight those high quality ethical businesses. And we ask for a lot of information. It's kind of a self-study in your own business as you go through it. And actually, as I see it, the application in and of itself is a good tool to use. So you can see where maybe some of your ethical shortcomings may be, or you don't have training involved with your employees, things like that. And then we have a panel of judges. Nobody on my staff does this. It's all done by outside people, and they rate against various criteria. And we have a Torch Awards. Pre-COVID, we used to always have a nice luncheon, 300-400 people show up. We've done it virtually the past few years, but we're going to be going back to a live event next year. And so it's broken down into size. So small, we've got, I think, 5 different categories, and then a nonprofit one. So if you're over 500 employees, all the way down to, sole
Proprietor.
There you go. Sole proprietor. You're not, going against each other.
Right,
so you're going against, and really you're kind of going against par. It's like, this is the good score, whatever. Let's just say it's 90. If you're above that, you're going to be presented with an award. If you're below that, maybe not. So you're not really competing against other businesses. And the difference with the Spark Award is that it's for newer businesses or young entrepreneurs. If you're in business for less than 5 years, or you're under the age of 35, or it's the first business that you owned and you're older than that, and it's not quite as rigorous as the entire torture word processes, but it's still promoting integrity. And we do those in correlation with a scholarship program.
Oh,
Last year, we gave out $2,500 scholarships to students in Wisconsin who are going to be attending a Wisconsin school, either 2-year or 4-year, because we figure if you go to college someplace, study shows that's where you're going to live. So all the way through school, through starting out as an entrepreneur, through your business career, we really are promoting ethics from the classroom to the boardroom. And it's important to get these high quality character students to stay in Wisconsin because it's going to benefit all of us.
Absolutely.
well, those are some great incentives. And I like how you said that they know the benchmarks, so they can strive for it and try to earn it, not just be awarded, but they can work their way up to it, which
And
is
we'll have feedback from the judges. And if they'll say, well, you should have done this, or you need to implement this with your staff. So then people can take that feedback back and have a better business.
nice. Oh, that's great.
I love it. I love it, especially the starting young, part. That's just great because we're living in a world of entrepreneurs right now. More people, even if they're going to college, they're starting their own things.
Yep.
So it's great. What do we have a question in the chat?
We do have a question in the chat.
How come you cannot read some of the non-Better Business Bureau accredited businesses' reviews or complaints?
A non-accredited business?
Yes.
It depends if they're still in process, that's one thing.
Okay.
And actually after 3 years, they fall off the site
Oh,
because, we think it's not fair if you're a business and whatever you did, 10 years ago, it's not who you are right now. There may be different people in there. There may be some instances where reviews are like in process of being looked at, how they're being responded to. So there's a couple of different issues. If there's anything specific, contact our staff. We'll be happy to look into it because we really do want to get all the information we can out to people.
oh, good question. Is that for accredited and non-accredited where the reviews fall off after 3 years?
Yes. Again, because we want to be current. You shouldn't be penalized for something that happened multiple years ago. Although if
If you had great reviews 3 years ago, it works both ways,
That's
I
right.
guess.
But again, your business could not be doing as well as it was
That's right.
3 years ago, and
Right.
maybe you've
Right.
changed.
and you want to be consistent, it's important, and we try and treat everybody as fairly as we can.
That's good to know.
What does the Better Business Bureau do in terms of educating and helping small businesses?
We do a lot of webinars. We used to do more in-person things, which hopefully, again, we'll be getting back to that. And on a wide array of business topics that you can learn about. We even have a library of topics and past webinars that you can look at. Again, if it's social media, if it's accounting, we've done things with lawyers, we try and help out as much as we can, individual questions that your typical business would have. And again, this is why, We Energies isn't calling us for HR help. But the larger companies think it's so important to create this ethical business atmosphere in Wisconsin that they join. It's so important to help out smaller businesses that they join because a lot of our resource does go to small business. How to hire ethically, and the fact of ethics improves your bottom line. It does not hurt your bottom line at all. It's the best way to retain customers, the best way to retain quality staff. So we have a lot of educational opportunities out there, as well as the International Association has various webinars and they help out too. So we see ourselves as sort of an information clearinghouse for businesses.
That's great. Are these educational things all free when you're an accredited person, or are there additional paid events, or how does that work?
They're free for members. Secret, most of them are free for non-members too. But we charge a fee sometimes if it's an in-person event and there's food or beverages included.
Right.
There's a charge for that.
Right.
Like if we have a luncheon or something. But again, our role is to make businesses better. Our role isn't out there to nickel and dime them to try and get information.
I think this is just really important as we're ending our month with reputation management. This is like the ultimate reputation source that is known nationwide, maybe worldwide, I don't know, but nationwide for sure, on maintaining and creating a great reputation from go for your business.
Right.
And people people want to deal with people they trust.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll be asked, hey, Jim, who's the best vet in town, or who's the best plumber in town? I can't tell you who the best one is, but I can give you a list of businesses that you can trust. Still do your due diligence, still get your 3 bids, but at least these are people that are going to stand behind their product. If there's a complaint, you know they're going to answer it, and you have recourse, as opposed to, if not, I mean, we've got businesses that don't answer complaints all the time. They may have an F rating with us, but they don't care.
Interesting. I definitely am going to look into this for
She's going to
myself.
sign up now.
Well, no, I mean, I definitely want to research it, not only for myself but for my clients.
I want to
and
research
know
all
when
your webinars and
Yes.
courses and stuff, because I was not aware of all that. Mm-mm.
Well, if you are interested in learning more about accreditation, just go to bbb.org on top, and there's get accredited or more info on accreditation. You can fill out a form. You can give us a call, however you want to, and we'll make sure someone gets back to you as soon as possible, because we all know that business people, their time is money, and we don't want you just sitting out there wasting time with without getting personal contact. So I'm a big believer in that. We'll get back to you right away, let you know what you want to know, and hopefully you'll become an accredited business.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. Do you have any big events coming up, or any promotions, or anything you want to offer our audience today?
Really, it's just use us. We are here for the public. We're a nonprofit corporation. We don't get any money from the government. People think because the word bureau is in our name, we're a government agency. We are not.
Okay.
Use us on the front end so you don't have trouble on the back end. Another reason why businesses join us is the impact we have. Every dollar in dues that we get paid, over $15 is saved by consumers in scam prevention. We save like over $1 billion of people, and that's all money that then goes out of the legitimate economy. So you're keeping that money in the economy, you're getting goods and services that you value, and you're increasing trust. And these days, if we can increase trust anywhere in our society, we're doing a great job.
Right.
I couldn't agree more. Well said. What a great segment to end our month. I'm so thankful. We have a link on the website for Jim also. And our producer, John, has put that up on the screen. We miss John on camera too. So thank you so much.
Welcome so much for coming on today.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And once again, we want to remind you guys about the Connect Show Mastermind event that we have every Friday. And that event is becoming a accountability event where every week we go in there and we talk about our goals, and then we have to go there sometimes with our tail in between our legs when we haven't done our goals. But anyways, we try to do the goals again for next week, and it's a great support system. So if you're looking for some accountability help or coaches or anything like that, join us at the Connect Show Mastermind. You can find the link to that event on our website.
I have to go review my goal. I'm so glad that we talk about this
I
every
totally
Tuesday.
conquered my goal this week. I killed it.
I was so glad we talk about it every Tuesday, because that's my reminder to be like,
Reminder
did
to
I
get it
do
done
my
in-
goal?
To get it done by
I
Friday.
mean, my goal is ultimately something that I need to accomplish for my business no matter what. So hopefully I've done it.
Yeah, it's a great support group to helping you get your stuff done. So.
Absolutely. I want to thank everyone for coming on the show today. We had Deanne, we had Giff, we had Jim. We had a great day today. We're ending August off right. Next week, we have Debbie Curris and Dave Anderson as we complete our month of starting your small business. One more huge thanks to Expansive for the coffee, the water, and a great place to work.
Yes, and thank everybody for joining our show today. Please help our community out by following us on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, all the places where we're at. And join our newsletter, because we will send out or we'll send out all the episodes to you, so you won't forget to come see us. And I think that's all I got.
Don't forget the small business shower.
Oh,
I'm just going to say it again. I don't care. I'm going to say it again. $11,699 to a small business as a startup resource.
Yes, so exciting.
I'm going to say it all the
And
time.
we'll throw in a free year of accreditation if they meet our standards.
Stop. That value. What's that valued at?
What's that?
Around $500, depending.
Oh,
on the
$500. So you
we-
made it over $12,000 today.
so-
Thank you, Better Business
Awesome.
Bureau. That is fabulous.
That is pretty cool.
Look at that 1 year of accreditation. This is going to explode.
I'm telling you guys better go enroll to be eligible to win.
All right. That's it for the show today. Thank you,
Yep.
everybody.
Thank you. Have a good day. See you next time.